My phone lit up earlier, and for a second, my heart reacted before my mind did. I still wait without meaning to, not intentionally, not hopefully, just in small, automatic ways. Checking notifications too quickly, glancing at crowded doorways, thinking I should tell you this before remembering I can't anymore. It happens less now, but sometimes my body remembers you before reality catches up. And honestly, those moments feel strangely sad, not because I believe you'll come back, just because part of me still hasn't fully adjusted to your absence. I still wait without meaning to, without meaning to, without meaning to. Small reflexes I haven't unlearned yet. I still wait without meaning to. I used to think healing meant completely letting go, but maybe some attachments leave echoes behind, because there are still nights where I pause before sleeping, like I'm expecting a message that stopped coming months ago. And certain habits still survive quietly, saving stories to send you, reaching for my phone during good news, leaving emotional space in conversations, not painfully anymore, just softly, like old instincts fading slower than expected. I still wait without meaning to, inside routines, inside passing thoughts, inside ordinary evenings. I still wait without meaning to, and maybe that's okay for now. Healing isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's just noticing how the waiting gets quieter, less desperate, less constant, until one day you realize you finally stopped listening for footsteps that never came. I still wait without meaning to. I still wait without meaning to. Not for you exactly, just for the version of life that used to feel familiar. I still wait without meaning to, but the waiting feels softer lately. The notification disappeared, and this time I put my phone down right away. I typed your name again tonight, just for a second. I almost texted you again, not because something happened, not because I expected a reply. I just saw something small that reminded me of you, and my brain reacted automatically. It's strange how certain habits survive even after all this time. My fingers still remember where your chat used to sit. My thoughts still reach for you first during quiet moments, again. A year ago, this would have ruined my entire night. Now it mostly feels distant, like watching an old version of myself from far away. And honestly, I think that means something, because I didn't spiral afterward. I just sat there quietly, holding the feeling for a minute, then letting it pass naturally. I still miss you sometimes, but the missing feels lighter now. Less urgent, less desperate, more like remembering a place I used to live emotionally. I almost texted you again, inside midnight silence, inside old instincts. I almost texted you again, but this time I didn't need to. Maybe healing is realizing you can miss someone without reopening the wound every time. Maybe it's finally understanding that certain feelings can't exist without controlling you anymore. And honestly, that feels peaceful in a quiet way. I almost texted you again, I almost texted you again, not to restart anything, just because part of me still remembers how close we used to be. I almost texted you again, then slowly let the feeling leave. The typing bar disappeared, and the night kept moving softly without us. I almost typed your name again, before realizing there's nowhere to send it now. The room felt smaller after that. My phone keeps unlocking without me thinking about it, like my hands are still waiting for something normal to happen. It's 2:14 again, and I'm sitting in the dark, watching cars move outside like everyone else kept going. I replay little things now, the way you said goodnight, the pause before hanging up like you wanted to stay longer. I didn't know that would matter this much. I still reach for you, I still reach for you. Without thinking, I still reach for you. There's a shirt on the chair that still smells a little like you. I keep telling myself I should wash it tomorrow, but tomorrow keeps moving. I've been sleeping too late, scrolling through nothing, trying not to notice how quiet everything feels now. Even music sounds strange lately, like every song knows already. And I hate that, because I can't escape you anywhere. I still reach for you, I still reach for you. Without silent all at once. Why is your chest still pinned? I almost moved it tonight, but I just stared at the screen again until it went dark. There's a glass on my desk from the night you were here. I still haven't washed it, I don't know why. The room sounds different now. Even the ceiling fan feels louder. I keep opening my phone like something forgot to end. Your last message says drive safe, okay, and somehow that's the part that keeps replaying. You were just here. You were just here. I still think you're here. You were just here. I've been sleeping with videos on just to fill up the silence, because when the room gets quiet, everything comes back at once. I walked past your hoodie earlier and froze for a second, like my body noticed you before my mind did. I don't even know what I'm supposed to feel yet. Everyone keeps asking if I'm okay. I keep saying yeah before I even think about it. You were just here. You were just here. I still think you're here. You were just here. I checked your profile tonight without realizing. My thumb moved there automatically, and for a second I forgot you were gone. That scared me a little. You were just here. You were just here. I still think you're here. You were just here. The screen keeps lighting up, but it's never you. I still look anyway. I reread the same messages, like they might say something new tonight. There's one conversation from October I still know by heart somehow. The way you typed come over like it was the easiest thing in the world. I keep scrolling too far back, past things that should matter less now. Past jokes I forgot were funny, past versions of us that still felt safe. Sometimes I pause on your voice notes before pressing play, because hearing you again still changes the whole room. I know this probably isn't healthy anymore. I keep replaying old conversations again and again, again and again, like maybe I missed something. I keep replaying old conversations. I started noticing little details lately. How your replies got shorter, how I was always the one checking in first, how you stopped saying goodnight before everything finally ended. And somehow that hurts more now than it did back then. I think part of me is still trying to fix it afterward. Like if I reread everything enough, I'll find the exact moment we disappeared. But all I find is how badly I wanted it to last. And honestly, it's getting harder to sit with. I keep replaying old conversations, your typing habits, the way you spelled my name. I keep replaying every small thing, like my brain won't let it die quietly. I don't think I'm okay anymore. Normal people probably move on by now, but I'm still here, studying old messages like they're evidence of something. Sometimes I wonder if you ever reread them too, or if I'm the only one still stuck inside all this. I keep replaying old conversations, trying to hear love inside broken things. I keep replaying, even though I already know how it ends. Your last message still sounds alive at night. Someone left outside my window earlier. For a second, I thought it was you. I still hear your voice sometimes, not clearly, not enough to really mistake it. Just small moments where my brain fills in the silence with something familiar, like hearing my name, the way you used to say it, or remembering certain words in your exact tone without trying to. It happens less now, but when it does, everything around me slows down a little. And honestly, I still don't know what to do with that feeling. I still hear your voice sometimes, your voice sometimes, your voice sometimes, soft enough to almost disappear. I still hear your voice sometimes. I used to replay your voice notes constantly. Now I mostly avoid them, because hearing you happy feels stranger than hearing you gone. It reminds me that we were real once, not just memories, not just sadness, actual people with ordinary days together. And maybe that's the part I'm still adjusting to, the idea that something can matter deeply and still end quietly. Sometimes acceptance feels peaceful, sometimes it just feels empty. I still hear your voice sometimes inside passing conversations, inside late night thoughts. I still hear your lately. Maybe they just soften until they stop asking for attention all the time, because it don't break down anymore. I just pause now for a second and keep going. I still hear your voice sometimes. I still hear your voice sometimes. Less often now, less painfully, but still enough to remind me how close we used to be. I still hear your voice sometimes. The elevator doors close downstairs, and the apartment returned to silence again. I almost called you tonight. My fingers stayed there for longer than it should have. It's getting harder now to pretend I'm distracted, because everything quiet starts sounding like you again. The kitchen light was on when I walked out at midnight, and for a second I thought you forgot to turn it off. I hate how my brain does that. I've been losing track of days, sleeping with my phone beside me, like I'm waiting for something that already ended. I almost called you. I almost called you just to hear something. I almost called you. Found your voice in a video today by accident, and I replayed it 3 more times. Something about hearing you laugh made my chest feel strange, like my body remembered you all at once. I don't think I'm handling this right. Everyone says time helps eventually, but nothing feels small. It just feels quieter, and somehow that hurts more. I almost called you. I almost called you just to hear something. I almost called you. I think I just wanted proof you were still somewhere. I almost called you. I almost called you just to hear something. I almost called you. My phone dimmed in my hand, and the room stayed awake without us. I thought the memories would disappear slowly, but they didn't. They just became smaller. Everything reminds me a little now. Not enough to ruin the whole day, just enough to quietly follow me through it. A song in the grocery store, your favorite cereal on the shelf, someone laughing the way you used to, the smell of rain through an open window, little things everywhere. Sometimes I barely react anymore. I just notice the feeling arrive, then sit beside it for a while. I think sadness became routine. Everything reminds me a little, a little, a little. Not enough to break me now. Everything reminds me a little. Now it's mostly long pauses, staring out windows, forgetting what I was about to say. Half-finished thoughts at night. I still imagine you sometimes next to me in quiet places. Not because I expect you back, just because my brain hasn't fully learned the difference yet. And honestly, I don't know if I want it to. Some memories hurt less now, but they last longer somehow. Everything reminds me a little. The train station, late night drives, empty seats beside me. Everything reminds me a little, and I've stopped fighting it lately. Maybe healing isn't forgetting. Maybe it's learning how to survive reminders without collapsing every time. Because you still exist here, just quieter now. Everything reminds me a little. Even after all this time. The rain started again outside, and for a second I almost reached for my phone. I clean my room tonight, not because I wanted to. I just ran out of things to avoid. The air feels colder now that the seasons changed a little. I noticed that earlier while folding laundry alone. And for a second, I almost reached for my phone to tell you something small. Before remembering, there's nowhere for that feeling to go anymore. I think that's the hardest part now. Not the crying, not the panic, just having moments that still belong to you automatically. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. I've started answering people couple more, going outside occasionally, pretending my routine exists again. And honestly, sometimes it almost works until something tiny happens. A song in a grocery store, someone wearing your perfume, an empty passenger seat at night. And suddenly everything inside me goes quiet again. Not dramatic quiet, just that heavy kind that sits in your chest for hours. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. I don't think I'm breaking anymore, but I don't think I'm healed either. I think I just learned how to carry this differently, and maybe that's all surviving is. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. The dishes dry beside the sink, and the apartment stayed still around me. It's almost 4 again, and I'm still awake for no real reason. I've been losing whole nights lately, just laying here, watching shadows move across the wall. My eyes hurt constantly now from staring at my phone too long, hoping distraction works eventually. It never really does. I keep hearing your name in conversations that aren't about you, and every time it happens, my stomach drops a little. I don't know why. My body still reacts this hard. I barely sleep now, barely sleep now. Every night feels longer. I barely sleep now. I missed 2 calls today because I couldn't make myself answer. Everyone keeps asking where I've been lately, and honestly, I don't even know how to explain this anymore. Something about losing you changed the atmosphere of everything. Food tastes strange, music feels distant, my apartment feels unfamiliar at night. Sometimes I sit completely still for so long that it scares me afterward. I think something's actually wrong with me. I barely sleep now, barely sleep now. Every night feels longer. I barely sleep now. I tried pretending I was okay earlier, laughed at the right moments, answered normally, kept conversations short. But the second I got home, everything came back immediately, and I realized I've just been performing lately. I barely sleep now, barely sleep. started outside again, and I still haven't slept at all. I cleaned my room tonight, not because I wanted to. I just ran out of things to avoid. The air feels colder now that the seasons changed a little. I noticed that earlier while folding laundry alone. And for a second, I almost reached for my phone to tell you something small, before remembering there's nowhere for that feeling to go anymore. I think that's the hardest part now, not the crying, not the panic, just having moments that still belong to you automatically. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. I've started answering people more, going outside occasionally, pretending my routine exists again. And honestly, sometimes it almost works until something tiny happens. A song in a grocery store, someone wearing your perfume, an empty passenger seat at night. And suddenly everything inside me goes quiet again. Not dramatic quiet, just that heavy kind that sits in your chest for hours. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. I don't think I'm breaking anymore, but I don't think I'm healed either. I think I just learned how to carry this differently, and maybe that's all surviving is. Some nights still feel the same, still feel the same, even after all this time. Some nights still feel the same. The dishes dry beside the sink, and the apartment stayed still around me. It's almost 4 again, and I'm still awake for no real reason. I've been losing whole nights lately, just laying here, watching shadows move across the wall. My eyes hurt constantly now from staring at my phone too long, hoping distraction works eventually. It never really does. I keep hearing your name in conversations that aren't about you, and every time it happens, my stomach drops a little. I don't know why. My body still reacts this hard. I barely sleep now, barely sleep now. Every night feels longer. I barely sleep now. yesterday, because I couldn't make myself answer. Everyone keeps asking where I've been lately, and honestly, I don't even know how to explain this anymore. Something about losing you changed the atmosphere of everything. Food tastes strange, music feels distant, my apartment feels unfamiliar at night. Sometimes I sit completely still for so long that it scares me afterward. I think something's actually wrong with me. I barely sleep now, barely sleep now. Every night feels longer, I barely sleep now. I tried pretending I was okay earlier, laughed at the right moments, answered normally, kept conversation short. But the second I got home, everything came back immediately, and I realized I've just been performing lately. I barely sleep now, barely sleep now. Every night feels longer, I barely sleep now. The birds started outside again, and I still haven't slept at all. It was only midnight, but somehow it already felt exhausting. The nights feel longer lately. I've been sleeping with the lamp on, just dim enough to feel less alone. The shadows in this room start looking unfamiliar after 2 a.m. I keep switching between apps without actually reading anything. Hours disappear quietly now, and I barely notice. Sometimes I sit on the kitchen floor with cold water in my hands, trying to understand why everything feels heavier at night. I tried to ignore it, but it's getting louder lately. The nights feel longer, longer lately. Every hour stretches after you. The nights feel longer lately. The nights feel longer lately, and I don't know why. I think something's wrong with me, because normal sadness shouldn't last this long. Normal people probably don't freeze when their phone vibrates. I almost texted you yesterday, then stared at the screen for 20 minutes, trying to figure out what kind of person I've become. My sleep schedule's ruined now, my appetite comes and goes, and some mornings I genuinely forget what day it is. I don't think I'm handling this well anymore. The nights feel longer, every single night. Too quiet, too slow. The nights feel longer lately, like my mind won't shut off anymore. I keep waiting explain. Sometimes I wonder if I made you up a little, because it's hard to believe someone real could still affect me this much. I wish I knew how to stop carrying this around, but every night it comes back louder. The nights feel longer lately. The nights feel longer lately. Even sleep feels far away now. The nights feel longer lately. And honestly, I'm getting tired of myself. 4:11 a.m. The ceiling hasn't changed, but I keep staring at it anyway. The TV's still running, but I muted it hours ago. The silence stayed after you. Your cup is still near the sink. I noticed it again tonight. I keep walking around small things like they still belong somewhere. The hallway sounds different now. Even my footsteps feel too loud. I never realized how much noise another person quietly makes. I sleep closer to the wall lately. The other side stays cold all night, and somehow that feels harder than actually losing you. Did everything got quieter after you? The silence stayed. The silence stayed after you. After you. Even when I leave the lights on, the silence stayed. I started falling asleep to videos just to hear somebody talking, because this apartment echoes now in ways it never used to. I caught myself laughing earlier, then immediately felt guilty, like moving forward too quickly means I didn't love you enough. Your name still lives in little places, food orders, playlist, old passwords. I keep finding pieces of you inside completely normal moments, and every time it happens, the room goes quiet again. The silence stayed. The silence stayed inside the kitchen, inside the bed sheets. After you, after you, I think it followed me too. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the room, trying to remember what it felt like before this, before everything became so careful, so quiet. I didn't know silence could hurt this much. The silence stayed after you. The silence stayed after you. Even when the night ends, it doesn't really leave. The silence stayed, it stayed after you. The refrigerator hum, the traffic outside, and everything else missing. Remove things from today, but somehow this place still feels like you. Your absence still fills the room. It's the part nobody warned me about. Not missing you, not crying, not even loneliness. Just a strange feeling that you're still here, inside the shape of everything. The chair across from me still matters. The extra pillow still stays untouched. I still lower my voice at night, like you're asleep beside me. I know that sounds unhealthy, but I don't think I know how to live differently. Yet your absence still fills the room, still fills the room, still fills the room. Even silence sounds shaped like you. Your absence still fills the room. I tried opening the windows earlier, hoping fresh air would help something, but the apartment still feels heavy, like grief settled into the walls. I don't think I'm okay anymore, because normal people probably don't talk to empty spaces or freeze when they hear keys outside the door. Sometimes I genuinely forget you're not coming back, and those few seconds before reality returns feel almost peaceful. Then everything collapses again. Something's wrong with me. I can feel myself getting harder to recognize. Your absence still fills the room, inside the kitchen light, inside midnight silence. Your absence still fills the room, and honestly I think it fills me too. I built routines around loving you. That's why losing you feels endless, 'cause now every normal moment has this empty outline around it. And I keep accidentally stepping into it over and over again. Your absence still fills the room. Your absence still fills the room. More than music, more than sleep, more than time passing. Your absence still fills the room, and I don't know who I am without it anymore. The hallway light turned off, and the apartment finally looked as empty as it feels. The apartment feels smaller when it rains at night. I noticed that again today. I've gotten better at functioning now, answering calls, washing dishes, leaving the house before sunset. Small things, the kind nobody notices until they become difficult. And And sometimes I can almost go hours without thinking about you directly, until something shifts quietly. The smell of coffee, a certain streetlight, the sound of keys against the door, and suddenly you're everywhere again. The room still remembers you, even when I stay quiet. The room still remembers you. Your hoodie finally lost your scent. I realized that last week, and somehow that hurt differently. Less sharp, more empty, like losing something twice. I didn't cry this time though, I just sat on the floor a while, staring at nothing while the washing machine ran quietly in the next room. I think grief changes shape, but never fully leaves the room. Still remembers you, even when I stay quiet. The room still remembers you. I used to think healing meant not missing you anymore, but maybe that's not real. Maybe healing is just learning how to carry the silence without letting it destroy you completely. The room still remembers you, even when I stay quiet. The room still remembers you. The rain kept falling outside, and I let it. The apartment used to feel too quiet. Now it just feels normal. The emptiness feels familiar now, not comforting, not painful, just familiar. I know where the silence settles at night. I know which parts of the day feel the heaviest. I know how to distract myself before certain memories fully arrive. It's strange how people adapt to sadness slowly, without even realizing it. I still think about you sometimes, but it feels different lately. Less like falling apart, more like carrying an old bruise that never fully disappeared. The emptiness feels familiar now, familiar now, familiar now, like something I learned how to live beside. The emptiness feels familiar now. I don't wait for messages anymore. I don't check your profile much. I don't replay conversations every night. But there are still moments moments where I notice your absence quietly, like reaching for my phone during dinner, hearing good news and not knowing who to tell first anymore. And honestly, that part still hurts a little, not enough to ruin me, just enough to remind me what changed. I think healing looks smaller than I expected it to. The emptiness feels familiar now, inside routines, inside quiet mornings. The emptiness feels familiar now, and maybe that's not the worst thing anymore. I used to think moving on meant feeling nothing, but maybe it just means the sadness stops surprising you. Maybe it becomes part of the background, less sharp, less demanding, just there sometimes. The emptiness feels familiar now. The emptiness feels familiar now. Not home, not healing, just something I finally stopped resisting. The emptiness feels familiar now, and somehow that feels peaceful tonight. The lights outside blurred softly, and for once I didn't reach for my phone. The apartment feels different lately, not better, just quieter. I stopped checking my phone as much a few days ago, not because I'm healing, I think I'm just tired now. The panic isn't as sharp anymore. It doesn't hit all at once, it just stays there quietly under everything. I made coffee this morning and drank it cold by the window. 3 months ago you would've laughed at that. Nothing hurts loudly now, hurts loudly now, it just stays with me. Nothing hurts loudly now. Your hoodie still hangs on the side of the chair. I walk past it every day without touching it anymore, and somehow that feels worse. I think part of me expected grief to look dramatic forever, but now it mostly feels like forgetting how to enjoy small things. Music, food, weekends, sleep. Everything feels distant lately, like I'm watching my own life through glass. Nothing hurts loudly now, hurts loudly now, it just stays with me. Nothing hurts loudly now. I still miss you constantly, but it feels quieter now. Less like drowning, more like carrying something heavy everywhere I go. And honestly, I don't know which feeling is worse. Nothing hurts loudly now, hurts loudly now, it just stays with me. Nothing hurts loudly now. try to escape it. I walked home in the rain tonight and didn't rush this time. The city sounded softer somehow. Cars passing slowly, water dripping from street signs, people talking through open windows. Everything kept moving normally, and for once I didn't feel left behind by it. I still think about you often, usually in small ways. Now, when I hear certain songs, or make too much coffee by accident, or wake up before sunrise on quiet weekends, the memories still arrive, they just land more gently these days. I carry it quietly now, quietly now. It stays beside me. I carry it quietly now. Your absence changed me permanently, I can admit that now. Not in dramatic ways, just subtle ones. The way I notice silence more, the way I hold people closer, the way certain nights still feel heavier, for reasons I can't fully explain. But I think that's part of loving someone deeply. They leave fingerprints behind on your routines, your thoughts, your ordinary life, and somehow that doesn't scare me anymore. I carry it quietly now, quietly now. It stays beside me. I carry it quietly now. Slower, more aware of how fragile things are. I carry it quietly now, quietly now. It stays beside me. I carry it quietly now. Faded into the distance, and I listened until the room went still again. Nothing dramatic happened today. And somehow that felt important. Maybe healing feels as quiet, not sudden, not cinematic, just small moments where the sadness stops taking over everything. I made coffee this morning and didn't think about you immediately. I drove home in silence tonight, without replaying old conversations. Even the apartment feels softer lately, less haunted, less heavy. And honestly, I almost didn't notice the difference at first. Maybe healing feels this Maybe healing feels this quiet. I still miss you sometimes. Certain songs still catch me off guard. Certain nights still feel too long, but the pain doesn't control the entire day anymore. It arrives, sits beside me quietly, then leaves again, and maybe that's progress. I think I spent so long expecting healing to feel obvious. Like one morning I'd wake up completely different, but maybe it's smaller than that. Maybe it's just breathing easier without realizing when it started. Maybe healing feels this quiet inside ordinary mornings, inside peaceful silence. Maybe healing feels this quiet, less empty, less afraid. I don't think I'll forget you completely, and honestly, I don't think I need to anymore. Because missing someone doesn't always mean you're still broken. Sometimes it just means they mattered. Maybe healing feels this quiet. Maybe healing feels this quiet. Not happiness, not closure, just softer nights and lighter thoughts. Maybe healing feels this quiet. And maybe that's enough for now. The morning light reached the floor slowly, and this time I actually noticed it. I passed your street tonight, and for the first time I kept driving. I think I'm learning to let go, slowly, quietly, without really noticing when it started. I don't reach for my phone as much now. Your name doesn't interrupt every silence anymore. And some memories finally feel like memories instead of open wounds. There are still difficult nights sometimes, but they don't last as long. And honestly, that feels important to admit, because for a while I thought I'd stay emotionally stuck forever. I think I'm learning to let go, to let go, to let go. Not all at once, just little by little. I think I'm learning to let go. I still care about you, I probably always will in some way, but the feeling changed shape. It stopped asking for answers, stopped needing closure every night, stopped turning every memory into something painful. And maybe that's healing, not forgetting, just loosening your grip on what already ended. I used to be afraid that letting go meant losing something important, but now I think some love can stay meaningful without staying heavy forever. I think I'm learning to let go inside quiet mornings, inside passing thoughts, inside calmer nights. I think I'm learning to let go. And honestly, that feels peaceful lately. Maybe moving on isn't abandoning the past. Maybe it's finally trusting that your life can keep growing around the empty spaces, because they don't feel as endless now, just human. I think I'm learning to let go. I think I'm learning to let go. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough to breathe easier again. I think I'm learning to let go, and maybe that's already enough. The traffic light turned green slowly, and this time I didn't look back. The morning came quietly again, and this time I didn't rush to escape it. Maybe someday this won't hurt, not because I'll forget you, just because time keeps softening things in ways we barely notice while they happen. I still think about us sometimes, during slow drives, during quiet mornings, during certain songs at night. But the memories feel calmer now, less like wounds, more like echoes. And honestly, I think that means I survived it. Maybe someday this won't hurt, won't hurt, won't hurt, not the way it used to. Maybe someday this won't hurt. There are still moments where sadness returns unexpectedly, but it no longer takes everything with it. I can sit beside the feeling now without losing myself inside it. And maybe that's what healing was all along, not becoming untouched, just becoming able to carry the memories gently. I used to think I needed closure to move forward, but maybe peace arrives differently. Maybe it arrives slowly through ordinary days that stop feeling so heavy. Maybe someday this won't hurt. Inside old songs, inside familiar places, inside quiet nights alone. Maybe someday this won't hurt. And honestly, I think that day is getting closer. You matter to me. I don't think that will ever become untrue, but pain changes when you stop fighting it. It becomes softer, lighter, more like love remembered than love lost. Maybe someday this won't hurt. Maybe someday this won't hurt. Not erased, not forgotten, just carried differently. Maybe someday this won't hurt. And maybe that's enough for me now. The sunlight reached across the room slowly, and for the first time in a long while, I let it stay.